Get away from me. I don't care about you. I remember the pacifier. I mean, you could eat it like this if you wanted to.
I was just going to have an Uncrustable today for breakfast, and now I'm going to have this. That was one of my favorite things. We would buy the jarred Alfredo sauce.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. We are cooking to promote my book, Your Pasta Sucks, which is available at MatteoLaneComedy.com or any bookstore available to you. Today, we're here with a very special guest. We're with my friend Liza Treyger.
Hello.
Liza was a recent Netflix special out. Very
and New
exciting.
York Magazine just called me lowbrow brilliant.
What does that mean?
It's like an approval matrix, and it's like highbrow, despicable, brilliant, lowbrow, and then you're in a matrix, and I'm with Porky the Pig, Daffy Duck, Lady Gaga, and Chappell Roan.
That's the first two, I don't know. Can't they just say, like, do we have to do like a bingo card game, or can they just say, she had a great special? Why do we have to like put this in?
I already got it. I went to the Framers yesterday. It was like the biggest thing of my life.
I've never seen anyone more obsessed with framing.
Because I always look poor and kind of trashy, so the guy goes, it's gonna be $550, and I go, I framed before, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the art. I want the museum glass.
By the way, today we're making fettuccine Alfredo, the real fettuccine Alfredo, but it's an easy dish, so.
And I actually order butter noodles at restaurants.
This is pretty much the closest thing to butter noodles.
I like cream, obviously.
Well, this has
like
a creamy
cream
consistency because you use the pasta
but
water.
Of course, you're
and it
against
makes
cream
it
with Italian.
Yeah, no, there are stuff that requires cream. Like,
Cacio pepe?
No, there's no cream in
Carbonara,
cacio pepe.
no.
No cream in carbonara. So, Liza, we both grew up in Chicago.
Suburbs.
And Skokie, Arlington Heights, and we met. My very, very, very first comedy show was with Liza at Old Town Pub.
Yeah, Old Town Pub, and it was a sex toy show.
Yes.
Where people from the audience got sex toys throughout the show.
And do you remember how many people came
from your
with me?
family? There was 45 audience members, 40 were Matteo Lane's family. 5 were just a bunch of whores who wanted some free sex toys.
First memory of you was you just furiously writing in your notebook, which you often do. Your notebook.
Furiously.
Yeah, and then
that's how I held the pen?
In my mind, yes.
That's how I hold a pen in your
When
mind.
Liza, you look at her notes, Liza's probably one of the most brilliant comics I've ever met, but you look at her notes, it looks like those movies where like a child's been possessed and the demon's writing for it.
And it'll say just like, cum, noodles, family, stupid, you know.
Owls.
Yeah.
Now, Liza, since this is a cooking show,
Yeah.
you know, you grew up, you were from the former Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Moved to this country when you were 4, 3?
I was 3, yeah.
She speaks fluent Russian, which is very funny.
It gets worse and worse.
How does it get worse and worse? You talk to your parents every day.
Yeah, but they understand if I fuck up a word or I'll say something in English and then someone will be like, how do you say something complicated? Like, I love astronomy. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to say astronomy. You know what I mean?
Tell us what you did yesterday in Russian.
Что я вчера сделала? Я пошла на класс велосипедный, потом я пошла с твоей подружкой, и мы сладости поели, и потом я спала, смотрела телевизор, и потом пошла комедию делать.
What's spala?
Sleep. I took a nap.
Wait, how do you say tomato in Russian?
Pomidoro.
Okay, so pomodoro in Italian.
Yeah. We're all one. Yeah, the Ukrainian bitch.
Well, let's not get so existential right now.
But all our languages are the same in theory. Every culture, I feel, has a rice and meat dish. Maybe not
Italians don't have
Italian.
rice and meat dish.
Right when I said, I'm like, oh, you only like rice in a ball.
No, we do
in a fried
this.
ball.
Well, that's arancine, which comes from Middle Eastern empires were ruling Sicily. So that's how we got all that rice and all the like everything in Sicily is more Arabic and Middle Eastern in its language and architecture and food. Okay, now what kind of things did you eat growing up? Like, what's a favorite dish that your mom would make?
My mom is just so good. I don't know what I'm gonna do. God, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, let's not go there. This is an uplifting cooking show.
My niece is watching this. My niece is a huge fan.
She is? What's her name?
Talia.
Hey, Talia.
This is gonna be huge. I love her little breakfast pancakes. I mean, my mom's making farmer's cheese from scratch. My dad's making jams, the rice and meat dishes, lieta, which is like beef patties.
And what do you know how to make?
Hard-boiled eggs. I boil an egg real good. It's like a perfect consistency in the oven. But I don't do it. I don't turn on my stove.
Okay, so and then I'm gonna make you make this recipe today. This is a controversial dish.
Yeah, because it's American. Right?
It is and it's not. We did a video, Chris, if you want to play the video, me talking to an audience member at the Cellar once saying, you know, like, you fucking idiot, fettuccine Alfredo doesn't exist, blah, blah. I don't have it in Italy. No, it doesn't exist. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, you fucking losers. And all the Italians in Italy are like, thank you, Matteo, blah, 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 blah. Then this place in Rome called D'Alfredo alla Scrofa wrote us and they were like, no, we're real and we exist. So I went there.
And their family invented it or something?
In the 1920s, they invented this dish. So the controversy is that like Americans changed it because of cream and the peas and the chicken and all this stuff.
My mom actually, that was one of my favorite things. We would buy the jarred Alfredo sauce. I would fucking love it. Just pour that white sauce and she would shred cheese on it. And it was like one of my favorite things ever.
Okay, well I'm sure your mother makes great breakfast potatoes.
No, but I mean, she's a working woman. She can't always be making stuff from scratch. Like once in a while,
sounds like she's making jam and she's making.
Yeah, but
sounds like she's doing the exact. You said she makes homemade yogurt, but she's a working woman.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, full of contradictions. This woman.
This is a very easy dish. So first thing we're gonna do. We're gonna salt our water. So what I want you to do is take.
But people use fettuccine noodles for other dishes without Alfredo, right? That's
sure. There's a lot of rules with pasta. You can only use certain fresh pasta with certain.
Well, I know. I heard bolognese you can't put on like a spaghetti or something.
You should. You should use like a pappardelle or tagliatelle.
I learned that.
Yeah, because it's a softer pasta, so you want it to go with the softness of the sauce. So like yesterday we made carbonara. Carbonara is a really tough dish with that sheep's cheese, so you want to have like a really tough pasta so that it complements the sauce and it can also hold it so it doesn't fall apart. So here's our list of ingredients. So obviously salt for the water, Parmigiano Reggiano 24 months.
And you buy that from the fridge.
No, you can wherever you can get fresh pasta.
Fresh.
Yeah, honestly with this you can use a hard pasta.
How do you decide whether to buy a wet, like one of those or a box?
If you're gonna use like the dry pasta versus fresh pasta, based off the sauce.
Okay.
So, but this you can kind of go both because this is really just pasta burro. This is what all Italian kids eat when they're little. And then we have butter and then, you know, that's it. So I want you to grab a pretty heaping amount of salt.
Oh, I'm like that guy from the internet.
We're gonna need a lot more. So this, you're gonna need like maybe that much salt.
Wow.
This is your one chance to flavor the pasta.
Okay.
So you think of pasta, think of it more as so of like a steak. You have to season the steak and you wanna cook it properly, right? Now this is fresh pasta, so it's gonna cook very quickly. You have to be ready. So
I have something controversial to say.
just now?
I don't love al dente.
Well,
it's a little hard. I don't get it.
Well, that's the point, is that pasta shouldn't be like a sponge, right? Like the pasta's the star and the sauce is the accent. So the pasta really, like I say, it should be cooked like a filet mignon.
Like, this will be perfect. I'm like, this is kind of hard and weird. Like, soften it up.
I'm gonna bring you to Rome, and then we're gonna get you.
That's the thing. I need to go to Italy.
You lived there for a month.
Yeah, like 6 months. Lived above a pizza place, but we couldn't afford it. But then I guess my pacifier fell on an awning, and it was like a night. Like they're living with a bunch of families in one room, and like they all had to get me a pacifier that was on the awning. My sister took my family back to Italy. My dad speaks only Russian. This Italian man only speaks Italian and could not care less. And my dad was like, we immigrated above here. And he was like,
get away from me. We don't care about you. But I remember the pacifier.
I wish I was there. Is that why you love Mario so much?
I don't know. I think I just like Nintendo.
Yeah, but is it a cultural thing?
I don't think it's a cultural thing. I really don't. I think there's other cultural things.
But are Italians like, fuck yeah, Mario, or like, no?
Yeah, I think at this point we're just happy to be talked about at all.
You're talked about a lot.
All right, so for me, this is ready because it's al dente, but we're gonna go a little softer for you, okay?
Okay, wow. So this cooks that fast.
It's fresh pasta. Fresh pasta cooks really quickly. So now, here's the key ingredient.
Oh yeah, I've learned about this. So pasta water.
We reserve the pasta water, all right? And we're gonna take a lot of pasta water because you want the starch from the pasta water to really help make our sauce nice and creamy, okay? That's about enough. See how nice and thick that is? It's like gold. It's amazing.
How often are you eating pasta versus like a chicken rice veggie moment? What are you doing for the fitness buffs?
I have pasta twice a week.
Okay, nice.
You don't want to have it every day, but also like I'm a working mother, like your mom. It's hard to go home after a long day and cook. And I have my meals already. Like I have all my like frozen meals. What?
Well, because I remember I wanted to get in shape and I hired your sister.
Right.
I opened one box meal and messaged her. I think I'll just pay you for your time. This is not the life I'm gonna live. I can't do this. I got a whole box delivered. I go, no.
You have such a strange way to see the world. My favorite story about you is rushing home. It's actually Nick's favorite story. Rushing home to see the Backstreet Boys.
They're at the Sphere.
I would go with you.
I'm in Australia in July.
Because I would say I would go with you. That would be really fun.
I know. I woke up to multiple texts from people going, "Did you hear the news?" Oh my God, you're so cute.
Okay, here I need your help for this.
Yeah.
So to make this, because I want to show you can make this yourself. You're gonna put in the butter, and then what you're gonna do is just stir vigorously. Make sure you're not cutting the pasta, but you just want to start getting the
I would
butter.
never cut the pasta.
You're really gonna want to stir. So like put it down at the bottom and just kind of do this.
So good. It smells so good. How do you feel about an egg noodle?
I love egg noodles. A lot of fresh pasta are made with egg noodles.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because you have like stroganoffs with like egg noodles and stuff.
I just like buttered noodles with feta, dude. Like, that's my favorite.
Okay, so now that we've melted the butter, right? See how it's coated it?
Yeah.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're putting in all our cheese.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
And here's the trick. When you start mixing it, it feels like, I mean, you could eat it like this if you wanted to.
I was just gonna have an Uncrustable today for breakfast, and now I'm gonna have this.
So now once you pour in your pasta water, it turns it into a nice cream. So just watch, the transformation starts to happen. And you want to reserve enough so that way you can really see. Can you see that, Chris?
Oh my God, yeah, it's becoming creamy.
Yeah, and see now this is...
Oh my God, are you gonna do cooking demonstrations on like Good Morning America?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You want to come with when I do one? I'm
Yeah,
doing
that
the
was a
Drew
challenge
Barrymore
on
show.
Top Chef. You know, it was a challenge.
I know Padma. I see her all the time at the gym.
She follows me. Thank you.
All right, this is it. Look, we're done.
Padma's commented on a TBT of mine once.
See how creamy it is?
I can't believe it became that creamy with just so few ingredients.
Yeah, because it's just starchy water that you're using, and it still has flavor from the salt that you use. So you mix it in, and you don't have to use any cream. So it's just butter, Parmesan, cream,
Oh my God, it
fettuccine,
smells so good.
and that's it. And then we're gonna have Tommy plate it for us.
Wow.
This is the best part. Watch how he does it, Liza. I know you're gonna love this part. Isn't this so cool? All right, Liza.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my God. I like how yellow and delicious this looks.
I know.
And how fast. Like, I really need to learn this because
It's easy.
I'm a Postmates girl. I'll go pick something up and it's like, why am I waiting 45 minutes? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you cook for your holidays or it's still the matriarchs?
No, now me and my sister do a lot of the cooking for like, we all switch off because now we all know how to cook. So it doesn't have to be just our parents anymore. Like we can cook with them. Good.
This is so good. Do you eat mac and cheese or that's against your culture?
No, I love it. Are you kidding? I love the boxed macaroni and cheese.
Oh, good.
That's like one of my favorite things.
Kraft or Annie's?
Yeah,
What do you do?
Kraft. Are you out of your mind?
The white cheddar shells are pretty good.
I like the, what do I like from Kraft? The spirals. Is this too al dente for you?
No, this is amazing.
Okay. Because this
is
would
so
say
good.
I was like, is perfect consistency. It's not too much.
I also love the Italian way of cooking because there's just never a vegetable in sight. You know? Maybe a tomato, but it has a caprese on it. There's just like never a vegetable.
There's vegetables. It just depends on the dish and where you are.
What, a ratatouille? No, that's French.
You're also thinking of the mouse.
I know. You know what my dad likes to talk about?
What?
Our family. Every time, like if I was on a diet or anything, he'd be like, Sophia Loren eats a bowl of pasta every day. Like every fat person wants to talk about that.
My mom says the same thing.
Just pushing it on me. I'm like,
They do. They're like, well, Sophia Loren, she keeps her figure by eating pasta every single day. I'm like, I don't believe it. I've said this to Liza. This is not an insult. I said, Liza is the funniest comic I know with zero talent. Liza has tried her whole life to be in theater, to be
I'm an
singing,
actor. I'm a working actor.
Well, no, that's true. She's on a TV show. Yeah, she's a very good actress. But I put that in comedy. I put acting in comedy.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about musical
you know, I had an
theater.
audition to be John Wayne Gacy's sister. I've really become a good actor. You get the part, but nice to be considered. I'm just saying it's a skill I've worked on.
Can we talk about some of your high school experiences singing
They're
in
going to say
theater?
my acting roles. I'm like, I was the woman that got kicked by a horse in a nope. So in the beginning of the movie, when you see the woman getting kicked, that was me. And fun fact, they brought in 2 horses. The horse had their own stunt horse. What? There was 2 horses. One for the acting, and then they brought out one for the kicking. It was really cool.
Did you have a stunt double?
No. I worked with the stunt team. They would like pull a thing as the horse would kick and the powder would fall like all over me. And then they would take me to the corner, strip me naked, wash me down, and then I would do it again.
I'm an actor. The glamorous life of acting no longer my poor
powder.
Ukrainian family. I am the woman who was kicked by a horse and considered to play Dr. Casey's sister. I want to talk about you in high school though, because you said that you were always trying to be in the musicals and
Yeah, they made me lip sync and cover my mouth with a boa during Godspell. But it was part of the class, so I had to be in it. They couldn't, it wasn't an audition-based project.
did they say anything to you about it or like what did they say?
Everyone had a solo but me. I kind of got the hint, so. And then we had one presentation where it was, we had to do a dramatic monologue, a comedic monologue, and do a song. And they're like, we picked this just for you. You're gonna hit these notes. You got this. Boy, so it was once upon a mattress, she's shy. I'm shy. And then after a while, they're like, the other notes don't matter, but if you just hit these notes, it'll be nice for the song. And then by the end, they made me speak in rhythm. I had to speak in rhythm. I had to like truly soft rap. I'm shy. In a lingerie top and bootcut jeans from Express in front of an audience. I'm shy. Like, I had to fucking rap it.
And then didn't you?
But I auditioned for The King and I with Part of Your World. And then at one time I auditioned with a song from Chicago. The like, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it? I did the curtains though for King and I.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You auditioned and the role you got was the curtain.
I did the curtains, which was hard. There were a lot of curtains in that
Right.
show. There is a lot.
They open and close and.
So, you know, there's 40 wives. There was a lot of movement within the production.
You also were on the football team.
In 8th grade, I was on the football team. Yeah, bleeding through my pants because I didn't use tampons yet. So the white pants aren't made for women with teens, you know? No, I got the shit beat out of me. My school thought I was getting abused, and they brought my parents in for a meeting because I was so bruised up because they hated me. They would grab my face mask and headbutt my chin. This was all blue. They'd pull my pigtails.
It's horrible.
It's horrible, but I couldn't quit, you know, for feminism. I had to make a stand. I wasn't good. I barely got to play, but I was just like, I had to do. Or one time I remember in the huddle, the coach was like, we're gonna get those pussies. And then everyone looked at me and he goes, sorry, Liza. 8th grade. And then I won most inspirational at the banquet.
That's good. Did you like that part?
You don't want to be most inspirational.
I feel like that's good.
That means your whole family is dead or you have a disability and you persevered. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get like best defense, fastest runner, cool spirit.
Do you remember like when you had to translate for your parents when you were younger?
I do, yeah. As a kid, you're supposed to look to your parents for guidance. And then as a youth, you learn they don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like hard to respect them and also be like, just sign this. No, my dad. They let my sister pick the house we moved into after our apartment in Chicago, and she picked the house that was across the street from her boyfriend. They let a 15-year-old girl pick the mortgage. Like,
my favorite memory, Lisa. I'm sorry, I'm just going.
No, this is like
gallivanting through my
I love
favorite stories.
I love it. But that's why nothing can get me down. If you're trying to write a mean comment to me on the internet, it's not really gonna work.
But also too, like you have such a fun, the way in which you look at the world. You have a very fun way of taking things that would otherwise be maybe traumatic and making them palatable and funny.
Yeah.
Your Backstreet Boys story is Nick's favorite story.
Yeah, I loved them.
You want to tell everybody?
Coming from school, it was the Black and Blue album, and it was the music video where it was like the fans, and it was like from the concert.
I'll be the one.
Yeah. So that was premiering on TRL. School's out, backpack on, I'm running home. Realize I don't have my keys. I have to see this video. And so I go to the back door and I break it. And so the wood panel around the knob there's just a hole in the back door. But I got to watch the video. I'm crying. My parents come home from work. I'd be like, yeah, I broke the door. I don't know. I forgot the keys. You should have put them in the mailbox.
Did your sister know how to cook?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like your sister, the older kids always sort of learn.
Yeah,
because then they become like the surrogate mother sort of to you.
Yeah. And then like my niece does pastas, and then my nephew, he's a bro. He's making steaks.
Awesome.
Lambs, bison.
I don't know how to cook
He's just
any
eating
of
a
that.
bowl of bison as we're having like a nice family meal.
Before we go, I want to talk, just
Already?
because I love talking about this with you. So for those who don't know, when you do stand up, it's not like one day you just have a Netflix special. It takes, I've been doing it 17 years, 17, 18?
I started in 09.
I started in 09.
Yeah.
09 to now, how many years is that?
Wow.
16.
Damn.
So we've been doing it a long time.
I know, it seems crazy.
It seems crazy. I remember you
now we're
once-
meeting comics that are 24,
Yeah.
25, and I'm socializing.
And Maddie
with them,
Wiener's
that's
been
what-
doing it since she was 16.
Yeah,
That's crazy to me.
I know.
I mean,
And she's
I remember
rabbits.
you once at Lottie's the open mic. You came in by yourself once because I was there every Tuesday.
I was always there. I lived near there.
I know, but you came in one day. You just sat by yourself like that. You went on stage. You went up. You killed. You left. That was my second time seeing you.
Wow,
this would have been in
I didn't have a life.
2010.
I wonder if I had to get to my receptioning job the next morning. What was I doing?
I just want to tell them about like we were put on a tour together to co-headline at probably some of the worst. Well, some were good comedy clubs. Hilarities was good.
No, they were good places
On Tuesday nights.
I just feel like sometimes if you don't like your wife, you're not gonna like me. You know, like if you live in Ohio and you're not really pumped about your life, like you're not gonna like me having attitude.
We were outside of
Cincinnati
Seattle.
Oh my God, yeah. We had fun. We also filmed a thing in a haunted jail, but I was new to making stuff. So we were supposed to spend the night in this haunted prison in Philadelphia. They got us a hotel and I go, aren't we sleeping in the prison? And they're like, this is a show we're taping. And I was like so upset.
It was a dusty, gross prison.
But in my head, I'm like, well, we'll see a ghost. This will be great. And everyone's like, you're staying at this Hilton. And it blew my mind. I didn't, you kind of learn on the job with
We were
that.
doing a show once in Seattle, outside of Seattle, and we were both bombing. And there was probably, in a room that fits 250, we probably had 17 people.
No, a woman straight up said, move on.
Yeah, so she was coming after Liza. And in the middle of her heckling Liza, fire alarms go off. So everyone has to get up, walk out, and as everyone's walking out, our host is handing out his mixed tapes.
Yeah, something.
And then we go outside, we stand there, the fire trucks come, there's no fire. We go back in, Liza goes back on stage, everyone gets back in their seats, the woman still heckles Liza.
Yeah, I had to go, the energy definitely stops at the fire alarm and you gotta bring it back up.
Then bananas.
Well, that was one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life.
Yeah,
Because Matteo and I are driving to New Jersey. Did we rent a car? Did we borrow someone's car?
We rented a car and we were performing at this club in New Jersey, Bananas.
The club? It's a banquet hall in a hotel room, in a hotel on the side of the highway, but the main room was actually taken over by a wedding, so we were in the side. I was gonna say Mexican wedding, and I'm like, it doesn't matter if they're Mexican or not. A wedding's a wedding.
No, it was a quinceañera.
Okay.
And so they put us in the side room. And by the way,
but on the ride there, I think I may have gotten a half hour or so, but I was like, Matteo, I just feel like we're doing it. We're making progress. We're like successful. We're living our dreams.
And we get there and they're like, okay, you're in the side room, and we're watching someone literally duct tape real bananas onto the stage. And as the audience is being shuffled in, no one knows who we are. The headliners are sitting there. We were laughing we were shaking.
I was like, our dreams are coming true, and there's bananas hanging from a backdrop in this banquet hall, 15 to 17 people. And there was a balloon too. And then I went to Sonic after. You didn't even order anything. And I wasn't even hungry. I was just like, I need something to kind of give a little spice of life.
And how many moments in our career did you think to yourself, why didn't I quit at that moment?
Oh, never. What else am I gonna do?
I know. I'm the same. I know.
People always go, what would you do without comedy? I'm like, I would be a salon receptionist, hopefully a manager at this point. But like, what are we talking about?
You would either be in jail,
or maybe I would be like, I don't know, maybe running some kind of venue. Somewhere where it's like flexible. Will you ever get stoned with me again and eat? And
I don't
have
like
some
smoking
snacks?
weed.
Yeah,
I have a drink once every 4 months and then I never smoke. I don't like smoking weed.
That's actually one of my favorite memories. Matteo was like, hey, me and my cousin are gonna smoke a little pot on New Year's, maybe. Can you like get, set me up. So he comes over, I'm getting my bowl.
No, let me just.
That's actually the only thing I've ever cooked. I turned on the stove, put my bowl in. Like scraping resin out.
Because I've never seen Liza move so fast. You go into her house and it's, hey, sit down. You're watching, Sex and the City. When I said I want to smoke pot, it was like, she's running, she's cleaning, like birds from like a Disney movie came in to help you finish getting ready. I was like, my God, I didn't even get that high, too.
No, probably no, but it was a clean ass bowl.
Yeah, it was very clean.
We also used to just lay in bed playing hair
Oh,
styling.
that hair salon game. And Nicole Byer got addicted to it, too. When you just cut hair and style it. Oh, I should re-download that game.
What's cool about comedy, like I wouldn't want to go back to that time, but during it was always fun.
Yeah.
I was never like, ugh, like it still always felt cool no matter where we were, what we were doing.
I love the
New
open mic
Orleans.
dates. I love.
Do you not remember the college?
How can I ever forget? We were fired on the spot.
We called the agents to tell us we did a bad job.
Yeah.
That they regretted hiring us.
But that's also one of the hardest I've ever laughed in my life because Liza was notoriously late for everything. So she would get mad at me if I would say, you're running late. I'm not running late. So I said,
Well,
fine.
he was someone that's like, we got to line up. And I'm like, I'm not lining up. I just,
So this is the one time she wasn't at the airport. I thought, I'm not calling her. I'm not doing it. She said, don't do it. I'm not doing it. So as I'm getting on the plane, I thought I should probably call her now. So I texted her, I said, I'm on the plane. Where are you? Fuck. And then you came much later. Then we get on the show.
But the show wasn't just stand up. They wanted us to teach college students that failure doesn't have to define you.
And it certainly did.
But it wasn't just us. We were hosting an a cappella competition.
Yeah.
So the students just wanted to see their friend. But then everyone was like, welcome them. And so, but they didn't give our credit. So we're just two people they don't know talking about how failure doesn't define you. And they're like, we're trying to see a cappella.
And failure doesn't define us. We were fired on the spot.
Well, we got paid, I think.
Yeah,
and then we had
paid.
beignets.
But then we made it.
We made it. Yeah, older, wiser.
Liza, where can people find you?
Glittercheese.com, Glitter Cheese on the internet, LizaTreyger.com, Night Owl on Netflix. And then I have a podcast called That's Messed Up, an SVU podcast.
And you guys can get a copy of my book, MatteoLaneComedy.com, or any bookstore near you. Tons of fun
How
recipes.
cool is this?
I know, it's so exciting. It really
Are
is.
your parents, they see this yet?
I haven't sent it to my mom yet, no. Because I just got these.
Do you think she's gonna cry?
Of course she's gonna cry. Well, everyone.
It's so hard to make a book. What is this, years in the making?
This is about 1.5 years. And it's not Hemingway. There's no like arc. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of mini stories. You're constantly writing and jogging memories and asking families for like memories and stuff like that. But it all came together really well. I'm really proud of it. So thank you so much. Thank you, Liza. This was so fun.